Greetings, everyone. It's your big bald-headed sister, Action Jacqueline, and welcome to my fancy bald world, where I share stories about beautiful people living with alopecia and give you a glimpse into their extraordinary lives. Today, I introduce you to Long Island native Michaela Raymond. Michaela began losing her hair to alopecia at just 7 years old, and battling that condition revealed a grit that would eventually take her around the world and into spaces she thought unimaginable. Born and raised on the North Shore of Long Island, New York, Michaela lived what many would consider an ideal suburban childhood. Her father, Edwin, an MTA mechanic, and her mother, Gail, a healthcare executive, worked hard to provide opportunities for their children. Education was valued, and exploration was encouraged. Michaela was a true girly girl who loved classical dance and dreamed of becoming a ballerina. Discovering Michaela's first bald spot terrified Gail. What was happening to her sweet little girl? Was she sick? Was it cancer? Gail had never seen hair loss like this up close. Doctors said it was an aggressive form of alopecia for which there was little chance of cure. Michaela's first wig was gifted to her by a charity that makes princess-inspired wigs for little girls. But as it turns out, 8-year-olds and wigs don't do well together. So when that was damaged, her next wig wasn't as fun. Her classmates were curious, and some of them were plain mean. Within the first week of wearing it, Michaela's wig had been yanked off twice. Kids whispered, rumors spread. One rumor claimed Michaela had cancer. Another insisted she was actually a boy, dressed as a girl. By the middle of that school year, Michaela had finally had enough. One particularly relentless boy named Jose had made her the punchline of one too many jokes. And as school legend tells it, she beat the Jordans right off that boy's feet. Later, sitting in the principal's office, Michaela made a declaration that would change the course of her life. She was done with the wig. She had come to dread wearing it. And anyway, she'd rather be the bald girl who could kick a boy's butt than the sad girl who keeps getting her wig snatched off. To Michaela's surprise, she walked out of the principal's office a hero, a bald-headed hero. Outside in the hallway, kids gathered around to applaud her. Others even sought her out to congratulate her on her big win against Jose. For the first time in a long time, Michaela felt like she belonged. Her newfound freedom and acceptance gave her room to think about other things besides hair loss. And she soon discovered that she's good at other things, like science and sports. She had a hidden talent for basketball that she didn't even know existed. And it became her new passion. Michaela found her place and solidified her position as a popular high school athlete. But graduating meant moving on. And while all her other friends were going off to college in other states, Michaela decided to stay in New York, where she attended New York City University and studied environmental science. Campus life in New York City was different. Nothing like the slow-paced life on Long Island. There was always something going on, and surprises around just about every corner. So when photographer John Dimitro spotted Michaela from across campus and invited her to model for the school's diversity and inclusivity campaign, the invitation seemed right on brand. And since it was a paying gig, Michaela was happy to do it. The photo shoot was an instant success. Michaela's ease in front of the camera was incredible. John was able to wrap up the campaign after just one shoot. There was no way he was going to let Michaela walk away before exploring her talents further. So he invited Michaela back to his office so they could review the photos and talk about options for Michaela's future. That meeting changed Michaela's life. After talking things over with her family, Michaela decided to sign with John. And it was a timely move because he already had 2 more advertising campaigns lined up for her. Michaela's first job as a sign model was a recruitment campaign for the State University of New York. When that campaign proved successful, John moved her into a higher profile assignment, a youth-focused tourism campaign for New York City. Before the shoot, however, John wanted to polish Michaela's image. That's when he introduced her to his right hand, Shan Williams. Shan had been working with John for a few years and had impressed him enough so that her opinions carried some weight. After spending some time with Michaela and reviewing the final photos from the tourism campaign, Shan knew with certainty that Michaela belonged on a runway. Excited, Shan brought the idea to John. He was hesitant at first. Michaela was new to modeling, and runway work was highly competitive. But Shan believed Michaela had something special. Eventually, John agreed to give her a chance. Not long afterward, Shan learned that a contact connected to a Balenciaga Fashion Week show in Los Angeles was looking for talent. Shan immediately thought of Michaela. The opportunity was enormous, but the money was a problem. Michaela was still a college student and couldn't afford a last-minute flight to California. So, she boarded a Greyhound bus and traveled more than 40 hours across the country alone to follow her new dream. The gamble paid off. By the time Michaela returned to New York, Shannon was already receiving calls praising her and John's newest discovery. Some were even calling Michaela the new it girl. Shan couldn't contain her excitement. She showed Michaela's runway photos to everyone she knew, including her good friend Javier Rivera, a bookstore owner with a passion for bringing people together. With some urging, Javier was able to convince Shan to introduce him to the new model. It wasn't a hard decision to make. Shan loved the bookstore, and she also loved Javier. She brought her by. Javier soon invited Shan and Michaela to use the bookstore as a workspace between castings and photo shoots. What started as an occasional meeting place quickly became a second office. And of course, Michaela and Shan were lucky enough to receive VIP status to Javier's wildly popular open mic poetry nights. The bookstore was growing in success, and Javier thought Michaela and Shan had a lot to do with that. As Michaela's career continued to grow, so did Shan's feelings for her. One late night, Shan finally acted on those feelings and tried to kiss Michaela. The moment left both women stunned. Michaela had spent years quietly wondering if she might be attracted to women, but Shan's kiss answered a question she had never been able to answer for herself. She wasn't. After an awkward weekend and an honest conversation, the friendship survived. A few months later, Shan booked Michaela to walk for another major fashion house, Schiaparelli. For the first time since childhood, Michaela found herself wearing a gown. Javier was lucky enough to receive backstage access from Shan, allowing him to watch Michaela walk the runway in that beautiful dress. Michaela had never looked more radiant. After the show, Michaela stepped behind the curtain and spotted him waiting with flowers in hand. In that moment, she felt fearless. Exhilarated by the success of the show and no longer interested in hiding how she felt, Michaela ran into Javier's arms and kissed him right there backstage. It was her first kiss and the beginning of their romance. That is Michaela Raymond, and this is her story.